him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magob, it's the first Black Sabbath Sunday without Ozzy Osbourne here on planet Earth, and I have yet to listen to anything Ozzy's done. I have watched the God Bless Ozzy Osbourne documentary that I saw many years ago. I purchased it. I saw it in the theater too, and I bought the Blu-ray. And I did watch that, and man, I think I should have played an album instead. Because God Bless Ozzy Osbourne, when it was new, it really, I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. It was alright. It wasn't mind-blowing. But man, watching it after he died, man, it hit so much harder than, everything. I mean, Ozzy was real. He was the real deal. He was, he didn't have the greatest voice some people did. I thought he had one of the most greatest voices that can't be duplicated. Where you have much amazing singers, technically better than Ozzy, can't do Ozzy as good as Ozzy, And wow. Some amazing musicians have paid tribute to Ozzy over the past few days. Even some who have traditionally not been on the best of terms with him have shown respect. Like Bob Daisley, man. He's heard over it. He said, hey, nobody can take away the good times and the laughs we had. So, much respect to Bob Daisley. Richie Blackmore has known for being a man who doesn't mince words. So this is what Richie Blackmore had to say about Ozzy Osbourne on his social media. He said, I had the good fortune to meet Ozzy a couple times. He was a very humble man with no rock and roll attitude. I think he was very grateful to be doing what he loved. He had a melodic, warm, and harmonious voice over the hard rock tracks, and it worked out incredibly well without having to resort to screaming over the music. A wonderful way of singing, Blackmore said. And he said, the late 80s was my favorite period, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, my opinion is different, but hey. His home show was my favorite. It reminded me of Fawlty Towers. I made it a habit to try not to smile and laugh very much, but Ozzy made me crack up with laughter on his show every time I saw it. It was so honest. I think that's what people loved about him. Our heart goes out to Ozzy's family, Candace, and I share your grief. We had lost a brilliant singer, a great musician, and a wonderful family man. Rest in peace, Ozzy. That's a beautiful thing, Blackmore said. It's true. He was real, man. It was honest. It wasn't some kind of like, look at me, I have some superpowers you don't have. Though he did have superpowers we didn't have, but he didn't think so, I don't think. I've seen Ozzy, oh my God, at least 20 times. I haven't sat down and counted, but I've seen so many Ozfests that, I get all that confused. What's what? But yeah, everybody's been, paying tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. We had David Ellison in between stroking off. He said Ozzy Osbourne was our Elvis Presley. In a way, yeah. And let me tell you, I gotta be honest here though. Elvis Presley is my favorite singer. Don't get it twisted. Let's cut the deck. But I think he was even more talented than Elvis Presley. Because Elvis, as amazing he was, you throw him a song and he'll sing it better than anybody can on the planet. Ozzy wrote melodies. He wrote some lyrics. So he did a little more than Elvis did. But anyway. Alice Cooper said they had mutual respect for each other. Oh man, there's just so many things here, so many tributes. And Oasis played a show, and they showed Ozzy's picture on the screen for Live Forever. And then after that, they did Rock and Roll Star, and Liam dedicated it to Ozzy, which I thought was freaking awesome. And yeah, I saw Max Cavalera interview that how, you know, when their child died, like Sharon and Ozzy took them in. Just gorgeous stuff, man. You know, and of course Lita Ford said Ozzy changed my life. Well, yeah, man, you are right in a way. You know, I mean, Kiss Me Deadly did great, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, I believe the highest charted song Ozzy ever did was Close My Eyes Forever with Lita Ford. I believe so. I know at the time it was, because I remember Ozzy saying, man, I never had a hit this big. You know, in the late 80s, he was saying that. I don't know if he's eclipsed it since, but yeah. And they said the paramedics, it took them 2 hours to try to bring Ozzy back to life, man. Woo! You know, Rick Wakeman said an absolute character and an absolute personality, of course. You know, Def Leppard said it was like watching the King of Rock getting worshipped by his loving audience about that last show. And believe me, the first time I ever saw Ozzy Osbourne was a young Def Leppard open, High and Dry tour, and they were amazing. So yeah, they do have history. Rod Stewart paid tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, you know, live. I mean, look at all this outpouring stuff, man. The Who played a show where they showed Ozzy in the background. That's amazing, you know, the outpouring, you know. And yes, I am recording this on Saturday, so maybe from here to tomorrow there's more tributes that I didn't get around to. And yes, this Wednesday on The Only News That Matters, check out what Gene said about Ozzy Osbourne. As some of you know, I don't mean to sidetrack this. I'll make this quick. I've been in the hospital for 10 days. So I didn't really have time to do news for this past Kiss Wednesday. And somebody was pretty upset about it. And I'll talk about it this Wednesday. Anyway, so going back this, and oh my God. Tony Iommi, man. You know, you can imagine, not only Tony Iommi, but I bet you especially Bill. I like to know what Bill has to say. So yeah, Tony said that, it was a shock for us to find out that Ozzy had died. I mean, when I heard yesterday, it couldn't sink in. I thought, it can't be. I only had a text from him a day before it. It just seemed surreal to me. Unreal. And it really didn't sink in. And in the night, I started thinking about it. I was like, God, am I dreaming all this? But as I said before, he looked well, though the rehearsals, you know, I think were a little rough on him. And I think he really just held out to do the show. I really feel me and Geezer were talking about this last night, that we think he held out to do it. And just after that, he's done. And said goodbye to the fans. And that was the end of it, really. What, you know, man, what an amazing ending to this man's life. You know, he set out to do a goodbye to his fans. And Bill Ward, they ended with the original Black Sabbath. That's how it ended. That's how it should end. It shouldn't have ended with 13. Come on. You got the original 4 up there, and they're all battling something. Tony's battling cancer. Bill Ward's had several heart attacks, and he does have a bad heart condition. And Geezer Butler was suffering from COVID, from the repercussions of COVID later on. He's still suffering from that shit. I think he's had it for a year or so. And of course, we know Ozzy. He's up there on stage just 2 weeks before he goes. he could have went 2 weeks before the show, you know, but no. Ozzy had to do his goodbye because he has lived a life that no other rock star has lived. No other rock star is bigger than Ozzy Osbourne. Everybody knows Ozzy, man. Even if you're not into music, you know? If you don't know jack squat about Ozzy and Black Sabbath, that Osbourne's TV show changed it because everybody's grandma knew who Ozzy was. When the interviewer noted that playing that one final show in Sabbath's original hometown in Birmingham, United Kingdom, meant everything to Ozzy, you know, Tony said, oh, he built up for it for a while now. He's been sort of training and trying to do what he can so he can do the gig. So he could do it. And that really is what he wanted to do. And I think he must have had something in his head that said, well, this is going to be it. The last thing I'm ever going to do, Tony said. Whether he thought he was going to die or what, I don't know. But he really wanted to do it, and he was determined to do it. And fair dues, he did it. Man, it's hard, man. I'm telling you, man, when Dio died, I played Rainbow Rising. When Eddie died, I played Fair Warning. When Deano died, I played Architect of Fear. You know, all these people. John Sykes, Thunder and Lightning. You know, hey, Chuck Mangione just died, and actually have one of his albums, Feel So Good, because I like the song Feel So Good. I played that the day he died. I still haven't played Ozzy. It hurts so much, man. And just watching the documentary, hearing the little splice of the songs, wasn't as depressing as the documentary, but yeah, I should have played an album. I shouldn't have watched that yet. And tonight, we are recording the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, and we are doing an episode about Black Sabbath Sabotage with our good friend Mike Sears. It's going to be a great show, and we're going to air it on Monday. This Monday is the 50th anniversary of Black Sabbath Sabotage. Thought I'd throw that in. Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. Check it out on Monday, man. But anyway, how you all feeling? How you all holding up, man? Leave it in the comments below, and, you know, leave whatever you want. What I had to say about these interviews and stuff. Leave it all in the comments below. And I want to thank everybody for watching The Only News Matters. Watch Wednesday so you can hear what Gene Simmons of Oh My God, Kiss had to say about it. So thanks again, everybody, for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring the little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. You listen to Black Sabbath and Ozzy. I can't just yet. And smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.